At home and huge favorites, and now they are 0-2. Here's Lamar postgame.
It's always business, yeah, but we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm definitely going to talk to my guys, though, because we got to find our mojo. We got to find and do what we do, because that's not us at all.
Okay, defensive side of the ball also needs to find their mojo. Here are the last 4 series. The Raiders scored 20 points and had 172 yards, 12 first downs. Not great. So, Brew, are you buying that the Ravens will find their mojo?
Yes, but before they find their mojo, and I'm serious, I want John Harbaugh to find his brother Jim's phone number, call him up, because you know what Jim's going to say?
Run the ball.
Run the football.
Well, he might be like, hey, I've got someone that wants to talk to you. It's the offensive coordinator you fired after having the #1 running offense year after year after year.
Run the football. That's what they need to do. They need to, and that will help them find the next thing, their identity. Their team, and we talked about it a little bit last week, they don't have an identity. I agree, Nick. The defense needs to get better. I think it will. The offensive line needs to improve. I think it will. But they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Derrick Henry, look, 18 carries, 84 yards.
Popped a big
but
one
in
late.
the second half, 10 carries, 74 yards. Yeah. When they scored, I thought it was over when they go up 23-13.
Yeah, it's supposed
I think
to be.
it's over. He runs 6 times in their last 7 plays on that drive, has 36 yards, scores the touchdown. You think it's over. He touches the ball one more time the rest of the game. And so I think they have, they don't know what they want to do. They want Lamar to kind of shine the way he wants. But here's the thing. Lamar's not going to outpass Mahomes in the playoffs. And maybe some other quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud and all that. But he can pass well enough to support a strong run game. And so Nick, they have to stop being so predictable. You can't. And we know when Henry's in the game, he's running.
Yeah.
When Justice Hill's in the game, they're passing for the most part. They're going to have to play Henry like a full-time back so people don't know what's coming their way and let him run the ball and then play action off of that.
So if I may, though, here's the problem with them running the ball so much in the second half with Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers didn't like it. You're king of vibes. Zay Flowers doesn't use Twitter often. Retweeted this last night. It was still up this morning. Second week in a row that he's had a big first half, and they stopped getting him the ball in the second.
Not good.
That's a bit of a warning sign. Here's another warning sign. This
good.
team is not used to adversity because of their own greatness.
True.
Since the beginning of last year, Lamar, we can just roll through them all, 14-3. Up until the playoff game against the Chiefs. Since then, their points are down. His numbers are down. They've lost 3 in a row. And that Ravens defense, Brew, that I was worried about all last year, allowed 25-plus twice. This year, they've allowed 25-plus twice, which brings me to my final banner.
A Ravens
And, Brew,
banner?
this is really going to be painful for you. I'm sorry. But 24 Ravens. More defense, more breakdancer than bully. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Man.
The Ravens
this
have
is beyond the pale.
to breakdancers.
This is a step too far.
Gardner Minshew
The
moving
Ravens
up and down the field on you. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 2nd and 20. It doesn't matter.
The Ravens.
Because you're not bullies.
Dare
You're
you.
not punching anyone. You're breakdancing.
Not cool.
It is what it is.
The Ravens.
The breakdancers know nothing but honesty. That's what they are.
As always,
you know what? You're going to ignite.
We
them, Nick.
appreciate. I know you're always.
They
kinda,
doing their thing.
I know, but
They
it's
doing
supposed to
their
be insulting. It's always kind of.
No,
that
we
it's
get
horrible.
it. The game is Washington.
Yep.
Should be a W. Then they got Carolina.
Which just got harder because Dalton's going to
And
play.
Dalton, right.
But it's still not an easy.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe he'll
or
be
it is
terrible
an easy
next
one.
week,
Yeah.
and Bryce will be back. But anyway, it's a W.
Yeah.
Then they got Baltimore, which is going to need
But then
that
the
game.
Giants.
And then the Giants. So at the very least, they should win 3 in the next 4.
Exactly
So they're 3 and 3. Maybe they're 4 and 3, 2.
Yes.
So
Maybe.
I think they're fine. As Nick said, Jamar Chase, I still don't think he's fully healthy. Or not healthy, but in rhythm. Because he missed so much of training camp. But he seems to be coming back into it. Trey Hendrickson is a monster.
Hendrickson's
and Burrow yesterday looked great. You still worried about his
Right,
wrist?
so before I...
Still on wristwatch.
Really?
Yeah, but he's not on the cover anymore.
All right, he was
Who,
great.
who replaced
Other
him?
than the fumble.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Right now, it's just a skeleton of a wrist.
Okay, right
Like
now.
when we're jammed up in the
No.
editorial meetings, you just put a wrist on.
Because I was going to ask Wild the same thing, because I think, I didn't ask him to pull the tape, but I think last week you said, and I quote, Joe Burrow's career is all but over. He'll never be the same. I think that was
Verbatim.
I think that's it. No. But you seemed, I'm kidding, obviously. You seemed very
I
concerned.
was very concerned about his wrist. His wrist looked much better this game.
Yes.
Hey, is his wrist 100%? I don't know. He didn't say it was 100%, but he certainly said he looked better. Could he held on to the fumble?
That didn't feel like a wrist
Nobody
thing
knows.
to me,
Yeah,
but I don't.
He got hit by two Chiefs at the
You got a
same time.
strong
But
wrist there. You're gonna be
But
holding it right there tight.
so do you? Before I go, you hated this question because you, as much as you mock, along with me, the USA Today at La Quintas across America
Yeah,
for the
right
standings.
near the breakfast bar.
You
You
live by
seem
it.
to
You
live
live
by
by
it.
Well, not only do I live by it, but pretty much everyone in the world
That's how
lives
the
by it.
playoffs
Yeah, it's like the playoffs live by it. The Super Bowl makes a
Yes.
ton of money. It's like you have to win the game. So you have to be like, you know what? That team did lose, but let's elevate them in there.
At the end of the year, that's true. But
Yeah.
when evaluating overall strengths of teams,
Yeah.
you seem really bothered that Brew and I might think that 0-2 Bengals are not the exact same team as the 0-2 Panthers.
No, they're not exact, but they're very different than the 2-0 Saints. in my book. So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Did you think the game was okay? How a turnover here, a turnover there. Do you think the vibes were good? Because the vibes were one of the main reasons
Well, I'm gonna get
I did
to
not
that.
like the Bengals. And Jamar Chase,
No, he can't do it.
upset about what he thought, I guess, was a hip drop tackle, upset, throws his helmet, gets a costly penalty, gets into it with Joe Burrow a little bit. That wasn't like, hey, all good. I don't know if other quarterbacks and number one wide receivers who are really friends it was a
I
little.
don't think that's a big.
I think they
I
are
actually think
really
Burrow
friends,
should've,
which is why he
grabbed
could
it
do it.
earlier and-
Okay.
Yeah, you
No,
got to
all
yell
right,
at
if it's
him
not a
in
big
that-
deal.
in
Also,
that-
I'm going
in
to say
that case.
not nothing.
Well, here's quickly before you go, Nick.
Yeah.
I think what it is, and you see this with the Ravens, the Chiefs games are so big that these dudes losing their cool.
Well, there's another thing though with him. May I go? Am I
No, well, the
interrupting?
contract thing is the bubbling.
No, so it's not just bubbling. It is the thing.
Okay.
Listen, I think that Chase is frustrated. His numbers haven't been what that was a very frustrating game for him.
Yeah.
They're bracketing the whole game. Now Gesicki and the tight ends crushed us. Yoshivas had had a good game, but we can. Jamar Chase, if we show you the numbers, started his career with the greatest game any rookie receiver has ever had. That's not an exaggeration. That's what it is. Since then, the Chiefs have just been like, no, you're not beating us. And so yesterday was more of the same for him against the Chiefs. But it is the money. It is, but Monty Jones tweeted this out, and he's right. He's like, we all know someone who can't act right if their money's not right. That you can see it. And because just I have so much respect for Joe Burrow and this rivalry, because this is a rivalry. We're 1-1 against each other in the playoffs, and I hate bad ownership screwing things up. I'm here to help. So, because I do think it's a money thing. So I'd like to drop a banner. Listen, guys, Houday Nation, scan here. We set up a GoFundMe. You can. That's a real active QR code. Scan there, and let's just see if we can get Jamar's contract sorted out. Because I think Wilds, go ahead and scan it, and you can check.
Oh, my phone's off.
Okay, your phone's off, and my phone fell on the ground. You're just gonna have to take my word for
can
it.
scan it.
Brew doesn't know how to scan
Is
a
that
QR code.
circumvent-
Yo, how's that work?
There's no chance you get this. You're going to end up taking a picture
I got
of
it. I got it.
No, there's zero.
Brew, where does it take you?
I will
Just tell
pay-
me.
It takes me to why didn't Jamar Chase sign a contract extension?
Yeah, it takes you to pay Jamar Chase.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it does. Look, it's,
No,
it's a
not-
working
I don't know.
QR
I don't
code.
know.
I'm telling you guys,
I'm not
listen,
sure, but
I don't think
I
he's
saw his
going to
name.
act right. Let me rephrase it. I think this is going to be a story all year. And I think he's going to be on edge and tense all year. We saw the story come out that he took out the insurance policy.
Right.
And so, I think the Bengals will be fine because of Brew's point. They have games against Jaden, Andy Dalton, Daniel Jones, Gardner, Will Levis, Bo Nix, and 4 against the Browns and Steelers. So that's 10 games against bad quarterbacks the rest of the way. So I think they'll be fine. And I think they are a scary team in the postseason, but they're not going to have home field. They got an uphill battle just to win the division. All that stuff matters.
Just for the record, I'm counting on the Bengals beating the Chiefs in the playoffs and then the Ravens.
I know, that's Bruce
so
Pat.
let's get to the Ravens. Finally, Ravens were well rested at home and huge favorites, and now they are 0-2. Here's Lamar postgame.
It's always business, you know.